Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Right now, it's a battle between Croatia and Japan, as both of them scored 1-1 goal for the first half, and right now the second half is also ongoing, and it's a tough battle between the two countries who will scale through to quarterfinals. Round of 16 battle between Japan and Croatia. Ivan Perisic scoring for Croatia there, and Maida making it for Japan. It's a battle to be won. One of them must drop, one must continue. Well, we just have to quickly run through the world of sport right now, giving you update concerning that game between the two countries, while we also be talking about Brazil versus South Korea. The two Asian countries are fighting hard to see how they can stay on in this particular tournament called World Cup. I have in the studio the person of Noel Samson. Good to have you, Noel.
Good evening, Mr. Adeni.
Good one. Let's run this show quickly. Well, just like as I told you earlier, Japan versus Croatia is still 1-1 right now, and the match is still ongoing there between the two nations, fighting hard to see who wins this particular game right now. Well, in the 72nd minute, the match is still really a tough one between the two countries. Now, getting to 73 minutes, and it's still 1-1. Croatia 1, Japan 1. Maida scored in the first half, in the 43rd minute, and you have Croatia pulling one back, cutting off a header from Ivan Perisic in that particular match there. Well, looking at this game, it was a shocking one, because when Japan scored first, the fear was that what will happen, another shocker. But second half, just after they came in for second half, they were able to pull one back.
Yeah, it's a very tough game from the beginning of the match. The Japanese have been pressing on the Croatians a lot. But I was so surprised, because the Japanese, it seems this World Cup, the Asian countries, likes of Japan and South Korea, it seems this World Cup is meant for them. They're just trying everything within their possible best to make sure they get to at least a very respectable stage in the competition before pulling out. So after they scored the first goal, they were still pressing on. Actually, the keeper of the Croatians have been saving them. They have scored probably 2 goals after the header from Perisic. So it's a very good game, but we haven't seen the game. It's going to end probably in the draw, then leads to extra time of penalty. Who knows what will happen before the match ends?
Well, from the way it is now, Maida, after making that goal for them, the joy on his face and the entire Japanese team right now, trying to see how they can do it against Croatia. Well, Croatia, we know, is not a team that will always be complacent. They always want to play you, and that's what they did. Second half, immediately they came on, 56 minutes, just like you said. Ivan Perisic was able to make that particular header, and it turned to 1-1. Both of them are really fighting hard right now. 1-1 between Japan and Croatia. Well, from the way it is, it's always very tough when it comes to this knockout stage, yes, because you never can tell who scaled through, even though we've seen the kind of Argentina, Australia, France, Poland, England, Senegal, and all that. But this particular remaining 2 games, today's games, you look at Brazil, South Korea, Japan, Croatia. You have to be very careful, because the Japanese of this world, the South Korea of this world, didn't just get here. They worked hard before they qualified to this particular level.
Actually, most people actually root off both South Koreans and the Japanese,
yes,
because most the way we do rate countries now depends on the kind of league their players play and how popular their players are. I think the only popular player we know in South Korea is for Son, that plays for Tottenham, and Yoshida, that plays for Japan, that plays in Southampton. So apart from that, I never saw that these teams will be going that far in the competition.
Maybe because you don't follow German Bundesliga. If you follow Bundesliga, a lot of Japanese players are actually in Bundesliga.
Yeah, but
Czech Leipzig, they are there. Czech Wolfsburg, most of them are actually
but not as popular as...
Yes, they are not high-profile players, yes, just like the way England is to Senegal. But really, Japanese players are very, very compact. When it comes to football, a lot of people just look at name. These days, name don't play football anymore. It's changing, and no more minnows in the world of football.
Yes, yeah. You can see the way the Japanese are playing. I was like, are these the Japanese? They were playing. You can see the pace, the strength, the energy, everything. You can see the teamwork within them. The Croatians are actually finding it difficult to even curtail the way the Japanese are playing. The Croatians scored just like a simple mistake, probably because of the height advantage the Croatians have more than them. That's why they were able to score that. It was just a fine crossing where Perisic had in order. But you can see immediately after the Croatians scored, the Japanese went and also played another ball. If not for the Croatian keeper, it would be 2-1. So the Japanese are really
they are ready for this game. You can even see that really they are not giving up. They are not getting tired. Just the way Saudi Arabia play against Argentina.
Yes.
The energy is there. They have the agility. They have the strength. They have what it takes to fight on against the Croats. But really, this game is going to look like the way Poland play against Saudi Arabia. Saudi was doing the work. Poland was scoring.
Exactly.
You see now that Croatia, they try to cool the game. If you play a fast game or a pacey game against the Japanese or South Korea, you'll be done for. Because why? They will make sure you are tired. They have energy. But right now,
very fast.
The Croatians are trying to cool the game, play European football.
Exactly, that's what happened now. You can see the way they are just lots of Modric trying to just give this the slow pass, what we call silence on the silence kind of passes on.
Oh my goodness!
But you see imagine the Japanese hold the ball. All they do is just to carry the ball. They run, and you see go to the flank, give a crossing. That's what they do.
Maybe I will be calling a name for you here on the show. Silence. Anytime you're on the show, it's silence. I will call you. What a way to go! Still giving you updates concerning the match, Japan, Croatia. Tough one there. As it is right now, 78 minutes, and it's still 1-1. Both of them fighting hard to see who stay on in this round of 16 fixture coming right now ongoing, and it's a tough one. Japan, Croatia. 78 minutes, 1-1. Perisic, Ivan, Maida. The Maida actually scoring for them first before a header from Perisic trying to cancel that one, making it 1-1. That game is really actually getting tougher now because both of them are edging towards looking at who stays on. Well, are we going to be seeing, because almost throughout this tournament we've not seen any extra time.
Yes,
you understand?
Exactly.
Will it be happening for the first time?
Who knows? Or probably at the 96th or 94th minute you might
somebody
see.
can actually score, because this World Cup, because they've added, I love what FIFA did by making sure whatever time you love to waste it.
You will still come back.
Whichever way you want to celebrate, if you like, somersault or jump around.
Celebrate for 1 hour, you still come back.
I love that because it's making it like, okay, just have it at the back of your head that whatever time you waste, either intentionally
or not intentionally,
you will pay for it. You actually just have to play.
Because most of it seems the FIFA have understood that most of these players,
they feign injury, they feign delay and all that.
Just to make sure they delay time. Probably you see at 90-something minutes, you see a country having their last change. Then you see the other players strolling before. So if you like, stroll like 10 minutes before.
Or cross to the field, you will still play that time.
You might regret
Maybe
it.
That's why we are not seeing, we've not seen any extra time so far, because by the time you play the first half, second half, we have about 110 minutes.
You're exhausted.
You are tired. Yes. So everybody wants to be like, let's just score and rest.
Let's go and rest.
But from the way it is right now, 88 minutes, that's the 80 minutes so far, Japan, Croatia, and it's still 1-1. Ivan Perisic and Maida at least scoring one for their country, talking about this particular World Cup match taking place over there in Qatar, and it's really ongoing, a tough one between the two nations right now. Who win this battle between Japan and Croatia? The Asian team are fighting hard to see how they can hold on to their own goal or score more, while the Croatia, well, from the way it is, if you look at it on book, like we always say, on paper or by name, you want to tip the Croatian to actually win. But right now, the Japanese team are not giving up.
Yeah, they're not giving up, and it's to show that the Japanese have their league is actually improving. Because apart from those players they have in Europe, you still have most of the players coming from their own particular league in Japan there.
Good one there. Really, we are actually looking at the update for you there, Japan, Croatia. While we are looking at that quickly, let's talk about another one that will be happening tonight. Brazil versus South Korea against another South Asian team. Another Asian team will be facing Brazil, the Samba boys. Who will win this game? Right now, we've seen in this competition where names no longer play football. We saw what happened between Cameroon and Brazil by that goal scored by Vincent Abubakar. We've also seen what happened between Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Japan, Germany. A lot of shocking moments at this World Cup. And in fact, to let you know, throughout the group stage, no team was able to win outrightly. It's either you draw or you win. Right now, Brazil rather, a match that you just have to be very careful not to underrate the South Koreans.
Yeah,
Hugmin Son is there.
Yes, and Neymar is also he might be playing today.
I doubt if Neymar will be able to play from the way it is right now.
But it seems he started training. Well, he might be playing.
In the next couple of hours, we'll see if Neymar will be there. But really, do you see maybe Brazil being able to beat South Korea hands down?
It's a very tough one there. Very, very tough one there because on paper, as I say, on paper, the South Koreans are actually...
It's not on leave.
Yes. They're actually inferior to the Brazilians. But the way things are going now, it seems we have to keep that paperwork one side and just face the reality now.
Reality is the title of this World Cup in Qatar.
Yeah, because you can see most of these big teams or big countries, that's of Brazil, the Brazil team. It seems most of the players are just trying to show the skill, the samba. But the South Koreans, they don't. What is samba? What is skill? Give me the ball. I hold the go ahead, score and defend.
There is no samba.
Yeah, no time for any form of
flamboyancy.
No. So you can see most of the what do you call the Brazilians. They like Vinicius or even Neymar when he holds the ball. He wants to at least go one or two
dribbling
one or two
YouTube
highlights for everyone to know. But the South Koreans, even the Japanese, they were not that dribbling that much. Them is just hold the ball, give a pass, go. Then when it's time, if it's necessary to they will dribble. Unlike the other team, so it's a very tricky one for the Brazilians. So for them winning South Koreans, they might win, but it's going to be a very tough one.
It's going to be a tough one.
Easy thing for the Brazilians to do.
Even though Noel Sampson actually agreed that match between Brazil and South Korea will be a tough one because South Korea too, they've not come there to sell granite. They are in the World Cup to also fight for it. Right now, it's a battle between the two nations from South America versus Asia. Who win this battle? South Korea, Brazil. 8 p.m. will be the time. And right now, it's Japan, Croatia, and it's still ongoing. Right now, to let you know, it's now 84th minute. Japan won, Croatia won. Ivan Perisic, Maida scoring those goals for them, and that match is really edging close and close. Well, from the way it is, maybe we'll be seeing the first extra time. Will it be happening at this World Cup? So far, we've not actually seen anyone happening, but right now it seems Japan and Croatia are really going down the dwelling part of this particular competition. The Mundial is still ongoing, and it's getting tougher as you progress. Now, round of 16 between the two nations. This is the first time you see a kind of a balanced game. We saw what happened with the Netherlands, and they were able, at least against USA, already by now, it's already clear that they were leading. They wanted to win it. Between
Senegal, England,
France, yes. France, Poland, it was clear. Senegal, Egypt was even in fact, Egypt, Senegal, England, Senegal was
for
even
the first half we knew
it was so painful.
Yes.
And then you look at Argentina, Australia. Yes, Argentina showed that they wanted to win, even though Australia tried to do some IGG, like we call it, initial gragra, right? Good one there. Giving you update concerning the match really ongoing there in Qatar. 85th minute, and it's still 1-1 between the two nations, Japan, Croatia. We are giving you updates concerning that. While we are doing that, we quickly revert back to looking at what is trending in the world of sport. Quickly, let's look at some of the story trending. Let's give you these stories before we come back to talk about the World Cup. Everton, Leeds United, Aston Villa, and Wolverhampton Wanderers in battle for Atletico Madrid striker Matheus Cunha. Cunha is a Brazilian, and right now they want to see how they can get him to play for them. Everton, Leeds, Aston Villa, and 4 clubs. They are really fighting to see how they can get this player. But Atletico Madrid to Everton, to Leeds, to Aston Villa. It's not better to stay in Atletico Madrid.
Actually,
because most of these teams, are, to me, none of them are beyond mid-table teams.
But actually, maybe probably the pay might be better than that of Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
Probably. And you know, in England, like we heard here that one of the best league in the whole world so far. So probably, probably
the ones the fame.
Yeah, probably Everton maybe give him much money better than Atletico Madrid.
And then maybe at times, they look at playing time. You don't want to be on the bench. You want to be there playing, because if you look at this World Cup now, most players who couldn't make the cut had to do with the fact that maybe in their club side they were down.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at Hector Bellerin.
Yes, of Barcelona, no that much of playing time for them. So probably that must be. But him going to Everton or Wiz or Aston Villa, them going for him, 3 or 4 of them going for him, that means they really need him, and they've seen his work. So if I'm to be, I would rather go to, if I'm having like 20 minutes per game in Atletico Madrid, when I go to where I will have like
90 minutes.
Yes, And probably in the next 2 years or 1 year, a bigger team in England might come for me after seeing my performance. Rather than staying at Atletico Madrid saying, and probably who knows if they are paying me 20,000 euros in Atletico
you went to say 10,000 naira. What a way to go. See, giving you update there. We just wrote that story concerning Kunha there. But right now 87 minutes, 1-1, Japan, Croatia, I beg your pardon, Croatia 1, Japan 1. And that match is now 87th minute, getting very, very tough. The two nations are fighting hard to see who takes that particular lead now. Let's go back to the story we are giving you. Let's talk about Hector Bellerin. Right back, Hector Bellerin right now, edging closer to join Roma on loan from Barcelona. Well, just like we are talking about, you getting a playing time. If it goes to Roma, AS Roma, the sleeping giant as they call them, much playing time for Hector than Barcelona. That seems like moving to Barcelona might not be, it's not really going too well, just like the way when he was in Arsenal, Real Betis and all that. So it would be nice if you can go to Roma.
I'm even surprised with the way he just, Hector Bellerin was to be one of the best, modern Wenger time at Arsenal. He was the first player for the right wing back, for the right wing back. But I don't know what happened. You know, him moving from Arsenal to Barcelona, which I thought it was a good one for him. But going to Barcelona again, we saw it was the same thing. So probably him going to AS Roma, he might have good playing time, which is actually good for him.
Well, Hector Bellerin trying to see how he can get his game better. Well, let's see if Jose Mourinho will be getting him to Stadio Olimpico in Rome. Now, while we're done with that, let's talk about Liverpool. Yes, news came out recently that the owners might just want to sell. But right now, as we speak, Saudi Qatari joint consortium preparing a £3.2 billion bid to buy Liverpool. Well, from the way it is, it seems the Middle East are really edging closer to see how they can get a lot of clubs in England. Just like we see that Manchester City, they want to go for it. And even Manchester United, if everything goes well, you can see the Middle East consortium also coming, but for Liverpool, Saudi Qatari, that will be 2-in-1 coming together as a joint consortium to get a £3.2 billion bid. Let's see if you can buy this club.
If it comes to reality, that means actually we'll be having a very deadly Liverpool, a more deadlier Liverpool because
they will spend the cash.
The money is there. Look at Man City. Except they don't want to get you, look at PSG. Except they don't want to buy you. If you like call them, told them, they will still buy you.
It's happening to Newcastle too.
Yeah, look at Newcastle. Newcastle just give them like probably because of the FIFA fair play rule. Give them like 2 years from now. You see they'll be signing big teams, big players to them, and you can see the number which they're on the Premier League table. So you them buying the Qatar and Saudi owners buying Liverpool, it's going to be a very, very big boost for Liverpool. Then
the big battle will actually begin again. Well, we've been looking at those stories for you. Saudi Qatari joint consortium working together to get a bid of £3.2 billion for Liverpool there. Now, let's still go back to the World Cup. Well, it's now 98 minutes, 90 minutes on the dot, and it's still 1-1. Japan, Croatia. The battle is really very tough there. We continue to give you updates before we run it out. And let's go back to our story while we give you one-on-one. Quickly, let's talk about Manchester United. Manchester United could pay up to £70 million for Brighton's Ecuadorian midfielder Moises Caicedo. Look at this particular scenario. This player could have been at least signed 3 years ago by Manchester United for £3.2 million. £3.2 million as at that time. Then he went to Brighton, and right now they are saying £70 million for Caicedo.
It's just like the rejected
stone is now becoming a cornerstone.
That is what is happening now, because now you had the opportunity to sign this guy 3.2 million. You said no, let him go. Now I want to sign himself for 70 million.
They just have to cover the money they want him.
Yeah, they just have to cover the money if they need him. But I actually don't think they actually need him in the midfield.
You never can tell that some transfer that you just hear and be wondering what happened. How did this happen? I would never still understand how. Maybe how Manchester United got. I don't want to mention Maguire now because it's becoming a course to study. I saw one video going trending in Ghana, where the lawmakers were talking about Harry Maguire.
Economic Maguire for Ghana.
Can you imagine how you use football to actually analyze the economy of your country?
But actually, in club-wise, Maguire is terrible. But I don't know when it comes to English football.
Yes.
When it comes to
but what happened? What about Jack Grealish? The same thing. It's like like...
No, I don't know. When it comes to their club, they are so quiet. You make lots of blunders, but when it comes to English playing for their national team, they are the best.
But even at that, I still don't see a big deal about Grealish's performance. His best football was playing Aston Villa.
Yes, Aston Villa. You can see how many he hasn't played that much for Man City this season. He hasn't contributed that much. He hasn't scored that much. And they bought it for £100 million from Aston Villa.
What a way to go. Well, it's so painful. Anytime you remember how the likes of J.J. Okocha play football.
Yes.
And you wonder how come the generation of those players didn't come to this, this time. J.J. should have cost like £200 million.
300, probably.
A player that was his own and said, well, good one there. Just taking you back a hand of history there. Still 1-1. Now 92nd minute in that game between Japan and Croatia. It's very tough match between the Japanese and the Croatian right now. While I still giving you updates, we go back to give you some story that has to do with transfer. January is fast approaching and clubs are really going to the market to see the players they will be buying before the window kickstarts in January 1st. And now we have this particular, that's the Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham manager Antonio Conte hope to sign RB Leipzig defender Josko Gvardiol. He is right now playing in this match ongoing, Croatia-Japan. 20-year-old Josko Gvardiol, fantastic player for Leipzig, although Chelsea has been the club that has been knocking at the door. Yes, Chelsea has been the club knocking at the door. But from the way it is, Tottenham Hotspur manager Antonio Conte is also very interested in getting Gvardiol out of the hand of Chelsea.
He should come to Chelsea. It's the best thing for him to come to Chelsea.
Seriously?
Yes, at least he cannot stay in Chelsea in 2 seasons without even carrying a cup. But if he goes to Tottenham, he might never carry a cup. So he should just come to Chelsea. They will pay him well, and who knows?
Let's see what will be happening concerning that. Well, Arsenal manager will have a lot of money to spend in January, £50 million. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta will have £50 million to spend in January to buy a player. Although news came out that it might not be including Gabriel Jesus because of the injury. Maybe they want to get a replacement. Say no, they won't replace him. We will get where we wait for him, but we'll get this money, £50 million.
In this present dispensation generation.
That you are using Nigeria, you're not looking at England.
Fans cannot get a good quality player now. That's just the truth.
Well, we just have to let you know that this game between Japan and Croatia, 1-1, 90. Well, from the way it is, it's getting tough. 1-1, 94th minute, and that will be it. That's how far we can go on the show. We'll be joining you, at least giving you more in our subsequent edition of 360. Well, right now, the game is now into extra time. Tough one, Japan-Croatia. First time it will be happening. We'll be giving you updates concerning this. Well, Noah Samson, thank you for coming on the show.
The pleasure is mine, Mr. Adeni.
Well, I am Adeni Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.